Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for being here again. So last time we talked about what are shares, and we learned that a share is a unit of ownership in a single company, and so on and so forth. We also talked about dividends, capital growth, and so many other things. So today we'll be asking ourselves the question: why do people actually buy shares? Why do they invest in shares and not just save money? So the teaser question today is that why not just save your money and end up buying shares? What is it behind that? So the thing with most people is that they just plan, save their money in the bank, and then retire with this money. But have you ever asked yourself the question that is that money quite enough for you? Or how efficient is it for you to store your money only in one place? Let's just say the bank. Let me ask you something. Do you have a savings account that you're putting money every single, if it's after every month, every after week, and you're storing money there? You're being consistent, you're being disciplined. So saving, the whole idea of saving is very great, and saving is really important. But here's the problem that many people do not talk about. Your money is losing its value while it's sitting there. And this is simply because of a term known as inflation. So inflation simply means that prices go up over time. So what this means is that something that you bought for, that you can buy for 500 kwacha right now, in the next 5 years it might not be 500 kwacha. A very good example of this is do you remember the time in Zambia when we used to buy bread for 7 8 kwacha, but now bread costs 26 kwacha? It's literally the same type of bread. Nothing has changed. It doesn't become bigger, it doesn't become smaller, just the prices that have gone up. This is what is known as inflation. So you might store your money in the bank, and the bank might persuade you and tell you, well, if you store your money with us, and after some sorts of years, it's gonna increase by 3%. But the thing that you're not asking yourself is that as your money increases by 3%, it's really not doing any much change. It's like you're honestly going backwards if the inflation rises at a rapid pace. So your money is gonna look the same on paper. If you stored at 10,000 kwacha, it's still gonna be at 10,000 kwacha. The only problem is that that 10,000 kwacha is not gonna buy the things that are worth 10,000 kwacha anymore. You would have to need way more money. And with that 3%, it really won't do much. And this is where investing comes in. So when you invest your money in things such as shares, your money is working inside of a real business. That business is first of all making sales, that business is growing, and so on and so forth. So if the business does well, so does the value of your share. So if you bought way more shares and the business thrives, you're just making a lot of money for yourself. And most of the time, these good companies tend to grow faster than the rate of the inflation. So instead of your money quietly shrinking in that savings account, it's actually growing in that real business. So let me show you this with very simple numbers. So let's say you have a 10,000 kwacha, which you put into the bank, and the bank tells you they're gonna give you 3% interest after 10 years. So meaning that you're gonna get yourself about 13,400 kwacha, which is not bad. But let's say you invest the same 10,000 kwacha in shares that are growing 12% every single year, meaning that you get yourself, after 10 years, you're going to get yourself over 31,000 kwacha. So what happened here? Same money, same 10 years, but way different results. So this happened simply because of something known as compound growth, which means that you earn returns on top of your returns. So what this means is that the money grows on top of each other. Just for example, how a snowball can be coming from a cliff, and then as far as more as it's going downhill, the bigger it gets. And that's how compound growth works. Now I would like to speak to us Zambians. So Zambia has experienced high inflation over the years. So this means that that money in your savings account is slowly being eaten away, and you really do not even notice it. And investing in shares using the Lusaka Security Exchange is one of the tools that we have in order for us to fight back. And just think about this. What if your parents invested 500 kwacha every single month from the time that you were born? Where would that money be right now? That's the type of generation of thinking that every Zambian needs to have at the moment. Now, I know a lot of you are actually thinking about reasons as to why you're not investing. First of all, the first reason you might think of is that, oh no, I don't have a lot of money in order for me to invest. You don't need a lot of money in order for you to start investing in shares. There are shares that cost 5 kwacha, 10 kwacha, so it's literally for anyone. And another reason that I get to hear about is that it is very risky. Actually, you not investing in things like shares is actually way more riskier for you in the future. Another reason can include certain things like, oh well, it's just way too complicated and hard and I do not understand. This is exactly why I created this series and these videos, so that you can actually have basic understanding of how everything works, so that when you go out there, you really are confident and know exactly what's going on. So let's do a recap. So saving is actually very good and important, but relying on saving alone will not save you from inflation. And investing your money in things like shares will give your money a way to fight faster the rate at which inflation moves at, which is simply known as compound growth. Your money will be able to grow as the years keep moving by, and it will be able to tackle the inflation problem. So for the next lesson that we have is we'll be talking about the Lusaka Securities Exchange, the engine that works behind all of this. And it's going to be a very interesting topic, so stay tuned for lesson 3. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you've got more questions, you can ask them in the WhatsApp group. I read every single one of those messages. Thank you.